Meteorologist Dr. Judah Cohen predicted when I spoke with him last November about using snow cover in Siberia to forecast winters in New England.
If anything, our forecast was not warm enough.
But could this weekend's snow mean it's changing? Cohen is watching Europe closely.
I do think that our weather and Europe's weather are tied together.
And that's chilling when you consider Europe right now is suffering through extreme cold and deep snow, killing hundreds in a winter freefall that started just 2 weeks ago.
If there tends to be bigger snowstorms in Europe, I think that does increase our chances here along the East Coast.
But could it trigger another winter like last year? The 6-week period from December 20th to Groundhog Day was arguably the most intense snow period that Boston has ever seen. Cohen does not think so.
It's just getting too late in the winter. We're already fighting the sun already at this point.
But even if this winter stays mild, don't get used to it. Cohen believes melting ice in the Arctic means our next few winters could be more severe.
The mechanism that we've talked about will favor colder, snowier winters here in the next 5 years.
And what Dr. Cohen is talking about is you take that moisture and then evaporate it into the atmosphere, and then you have more moisture to work with, which could lead to more snows in coming winters. So that's what the general idea is behind that.
Okay, so now taking all of that and we look ahead to what's left of this winter,
Yes.
I mean, how far can you really go out in terms of snow and cold and things like that?
As far as me, I mean, in general terms, I could go out a good week or two, and I can tell you that even though we have a cold snap for the second half of this weekend and the start of next week, I don't see anything resembling that in the next week or two ahead. So you can see that we're already way above average in February, for January, December in temperature. And in spite of the cold, the second half of this weekend, it's going to happen again. Now, it's 41 in Boston now. It's a mild night. We hit 50 today. We have a west to southwesterly breeze. And if you look at the temperatures around the area, they're still 40 plus from I-95 south and east. So even though it's cold above, anything that's coming down light is coming down as rain. Now, it is a little colder off to the north and west, but not much is happening out there at this particular time. Now, there is colder air to the north. Look at Quebec. Look at Montreal, Quebec, and Caribou. And look at this. It's below zero here. Now, that's the Arctic air that's going to come in the second half of the weekend. But how much cold air do we have with the storm that's coming up for tomorrow? Now, the storm is kind of broken into two pieces. You could see that on satellite imagery. The first piece is weak, and it's coming through tonight. The second piece is down across the southeast. And here's the big idea, that most of this, at least the bulk of it, is going to stay offshore. So that spares us any big snows here. Here's the first little piece of moisture this week, and this would be the second. But again, the track of that moisture is just going to be too far to the east to really be a big player for us. So there'll be some snow tomorrow in the air, not that much on the ground. Southeastern Massachusetts could get a burst, so that's the area we'll have to watch a little more closely. Again, a little rain has broken out. It's not reaching the ground north and west where it could be a little snow. And anything that happens tonight and first thing tomorrow morning is spotty and insignificant. Now, by the time we get to, let's say, mid-morning tomorrow, then we're going to see a little more build up from the south and a brief period of steadier snow. But look how quickly it moves out to sea, just leaving us with lighter snow and flurries. So based on that, one of our computer models is now only indicating that we're going to have anywhere from a coating at most to an inch off to the north and west. And again, that may be mainly on grassy surfaces because the ground is warm. There could be a pocket of an inch or two and maybe a few spots that could get 2 to 4 south and east. So what I really think is less than an inch north and west of I-95. South and east, maybe an inch or two, especially on grassy surfaces. Could be a small area over southeastern Massachusetts that could get 2 to 4 inches. Cape is always tough because you'll have somewhat heavier precipitation, but you're getting rain first, then you will flip to snow, probably a small accumulation, especially the outer Cape. Falmouth, Plymouth, Carver could get a couple inches. And here's another reason why I don't expect a big impact for most of us. The ground is warm from the recent warmth. The sun angle is getting higher now. So for all of those reasons, it does not look like it's going to be tough along I-95 north and west tomorrow on the roadway. So I do want you to know that. I also want to let you know bitter cold is going to follow this starting tomorrow night. So spotty, very light rain or snow overnight, that amounts to next to nothing, 30 to 35 degrees. Tomorrow during the morning, we will get some steadier light snow and flurries breaking out, except a mix on the Cape and a little bit heavier for a few hours south and east of Boston. Northeast to northerly winds, 32 to 40, the highest temperatures, then starting to coast down. We're heading down into the teens tomorrow night.